dream. Hi, my name is Mike. I am a believer in Jesus Christ, and I am from the United States. And this is the dream I had when I used to live in Eugene, Oregon. This dream felt extremely real. And this is the dream. In the dream, I woke up early in the morning to start my day, and I walked outside of the apartment, and everything looked normal, just like any other day. But on this day, I looked up at the sun, and for some reason, the sun looked a little different, almost like it was bigger and very hot. And then I saw beams of fire coming off of it. And one of these beams of fire started touching the ground, all over the place, in the hills, everywhere I looked, even on the roof of the house next door to the apartment, and it burnt it up almost instantly. And I ran back into the apartment to get my woman and my kids, and the fire was all over the neighborhood, near the parking lot where we lived, and we started to walk towards Springfield, Oregon, and beams of fire were hitting all over the place in front of us. But God had guided us a certain way, and finally we made it to Glenwood, which was before Springfield. At this time, we saw what looked like hailstones starting to fall all around us. I don't know why, but I threw my hands up. The hailstone hit me right in the head. It did not hurt or kill me. It wouldn't have hit me, but for some reason, I lost my faith at that moment. I believe that Jesus would have told me, "You have a little faith." Anyway, I saw the bridge that went into Springfield. And all of the sudden, it was almost like we disappeared, and God made us reappear in Springfield, in a trailer. I don't know whose it was. My daughter Ashley was hungry, so she went next door to find some food. After that, we went to look for her, and we could not find her. And we saw this restaurant, so we went to the restaurant. Our son was sitting in there, but Ashley was not there. So me and Patty went out of the restaurant to go find her again. At this time, these beams of fire from the sun were hitting people, and the people that they hit turned into dust right before our eyes. This freaked us out a little, but we kept walking anyway because we were still looking for Ashley. And we began to see these beams of fire hitting all sorts of people. We also saw people walking into what looked like lights on the ground, like a beam from heaven. And I saw people walk into them. So I knew that it was a rapture, and me and my woman threw our hands up and said, "Lord, please send one of the lights for us." So we walked into the light, and instantly I was standing before Jesus in heaven. And he said, "It's nice to finally see you in person." And I told him, "Yes, it is." And I tried to give him a hug, but all of a sudden, an ocean showed up in front of me, and Jesus started walking towards me on the ocean. And then, all of a sudden, I felt myself being pulled up through the stars of heaven. And then suddenly, I was in a garden, a beautiful garden, and Patty was with me. And then, I felt something rub against my leg and purring like a kitten, and it was a big tiger. I said to Patty, "Come and look at it. It's a tiger. Wow, it's amazing." Then I looked before me, and there was a big mansion and beautiful trees all around it, and beautiful white heaven. And all I did was look at the mansion, and I was instantly transported inside it. And I believe this is to be a warning for all people to do God's will. For some reason, I was in a jail cell, and inside of it, I saw my son James, and there were other people in there too. It looked like they had no skin. For some reason, it almost looked like zombies, and I heard a woman's voice, and it called me out of the jail cell, and the door opened, and I started to walk out. And my son grabbed me by the arm and said, "Don't leave me, in here is scary." I don't like it. I said, "I'm sorry." The voice called me out, and I have to go. And I walked out the door, and the door shut. And I saw Patty coming down the stairs, and when I was about to walk up the stairs, one of the people that looked like a zombie said hi to me, and I said hello. After that, I and Patty walked up the stairs, but I was still worried about Ashley at this time. I asked Patty, "Did you find her?" She said yes, she's in school. So this makes me think there is a school in heaven for everyone. And we were instantly transported into what looked like a big waiting room that had one big table in it. And in the waiting room, it looked like there were these monitors, but these monitors had no screen. You would be able to stick your hand in them. And on the monitor, I saw clouds, and Jesus was teaching the Word of God in there. And I saw Patty sitting at the table, and I said, "Come and look at this with me." And for some reason, she said, "I don't know you." And this confused me. And I went to ask Jesus why she did not know me, and I felt like he wasn't answering me. I began to yell at him because he did not answer me. And all of a sudden, I ended up at the table with my daughter, Janelle's grandma, who died, and she told me, "Unfortunately, you have to be sent back down to the earth to be tested by an angel." So I was sad and very disappointed because I was not allowed to be in heaven anymore. I was cast out. I was instantly transported back to the earth. And there was darkness everywhere. There was no sun, no light, no moon, nothing, just darkness. And people had lit fires in big barrels for light. And by the barrels, they were doing drugs, shooting them up, and doing other vital things that were nasty. And all of a sudden, I was with the old friends that I let go after I stopped drinking, and there were people offering drugs and alcohol to me. And my friend said, "Yes." And I said, "No, I live for Jesus. I will not do such things." So we walked a little further, and then I saw a little ship with lights around it. It looked like a small spacecraft, and the angel was standing by it. It was tipped over, so we helped him to turn it back up to the top. And then after that, I woke up. I believe this dream is to be a warning for all people, and me too. I believe that we should not expect to be with our family in heaven. We should only be there for Jesus and God the Father. And I believe that we need to obey him, or we may end up in jail in heaven and be held for judgment. I really believe these things are a warning to show what the end of the world will look like, but will happen to us if we act evil.